look, the Broncos are, like we said, they're not highly regarded at all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is wow. FanDuel put out their power rankings, bro, and it is. I mean, I was just watching Major League, and Rachel just to finish dead fucking last. So, bro, dead last. The Patriots and the Broncos are 31 and 32. That is not something you usually see in the National Football League, not in my lifetime. So, I don't. Do I disagree with this? I don't know if I disagree with this.
I don't know. The Broncos below Carolina is a little baffling to me right now. Like
Carolina's a better roster than the Denver Broncos. This is not true.
I think how could you put Canales ahead of Sean Payton? That's the kind of the way I look at that. How could you?
I mean, I don't know, man. This is a really I got to think about this a little bit, but the Chiefs, Baltimore, San Francisco, okay, it makes sense. Top of the NFL. The Jets at number 8. That's obviously they think A-Rod's going to stay healthy. The Rams at like whatever that. What is that? 10, 11,
12.
12. That's a little low for them. I think they're going to be pretty fucking good. But again, I probably switch the Jets and the Rams. The Cowboys at 7. That's a fucking what? Come on, the Cowboys are soft as shit. They may be a good regular season team, but they couldn't beat themselves out of a wet paper bag. Let's be real, bro. Come on. So the Browns are really low. That's a really good football team. Jacksonville's low. But again, you can only have so many spots. The Steelers are pretty high. They must think Russell Wilson's going to have his shit together. So look, the Steelers are at 16 and the Broncos are at 32, and they pretty much just gave Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh. So they must think that Russell Wilson's going to go to Pittsburgh and actually play pretty well, and they think that the Broncos are going to be poo-poo. All right, so.
What about the 15?
We got to ask this question, though. We got to ask this question. All right, this is everybody in the comments, too.
Mm-hmm.
If the Broncos are at 32, dog, and that's where they're sitting, you got to think they're going to be in the top 4 or 5 in the draft, probably, or 1 or 2. So even if Bo Nix has a subpar year and they're still picking 1 or 2, don't you have to go quarterback again?
Yeah, the Cardinals did it with Rosen and Kyler Murray.
They sure did, but I don't know if Bo Nix is going to be Rosen, but they sure fucking did do that. So, man. That's a big-time hypothetical, and it's down the road. But right now, this is not a good fucking look. That is ugly.
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds. The fucking Broncos have the 30. Their offensive line alone should keep them out of 32. They're not a bad unit. Are they good just because they're paid? No. So maybe they do suck, and they're just all overpaid. Fuck, man, this is bad. The Broncos are terrible. I'm talking myself in and out of this shit. Like, look, the McGlinchey is an okay player, overpaid. Bowles is an okay player, overpaid. Powers is an okay player, overpaid. Mm-hmm. Miners is a fucking stud, and they paid him. Mm-hmm. I personally think the other 3 will be gone after this year. They make too much money. That's just the way the NFL works. Mm-hmm. So they'll build around Quinn to move forward in Denver, but this is all relying on whether or not Bo Nix can fucking play or not. So I guess we'll see. If he can't play, I know who'd look real motherfucking good in orange and blue. Just saying.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is motherfucking right. Yeah. Oh boy, what? Oh boy, Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I already know where you're going with this.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you: Have you seen 15? They have the Bears at 15. That I think is
the Bears have got skill players, and Caleb Williams. We'll see what kind of player he is, but they're going to think that he's going to go in and play football at a high level. We'll see. They got a good defense after they acquired Sweat last year. They really took off, and they were playing really good at the end of the year. So, yeah, the Bears are on the up. They're going to try and pull a Detroit Lions and go win some football games.
Man, putting the Bears ahead of the Steelers, man, I
can't believe the Steelers. I can't believe the Steelers are in the top 16.
Really? You think they're?
I like Pittsburgh. I think they're really good, but they're a playoff team last year. But again, Russell Wilson was not the answer. Now he may be the answer in Pittsburgh for a year or two. Maybe the way he played in Denver. If you're just looking at numbers, that's one thing. Because watching every game and going to several. And Bree can attest to this, bro. Like, the numbers lie to you. It's his. He misses so many reads. And I don't know, maybe Tomlin and the system they're going to run in Pittsburgh and more run heavy and less. I think last year was Sean Payton trying to prove that Russell Wilson couldn't play in his system. So I think he could have supported him better, but he wanted to get rid of his prima donna ass, and I don't blame him. Russell Wilson is a fucking total prima donna. So I don't know how that's going to fly in Pittsburgh. I think he's been humbled severely. So maybe Pittsburgh just goes back to Seattle football and like doesn't rely on Russell, and they just kind of play with him, and that allows him to be pretty good in that system. So they got a great back and a really good offensive line. Pittsburgh's a scary team, but again, they must think Russell Wilson is going to be pretty good. But at the same time, I think Justin Fields might be a better fit just because he can fucking move. Like you might as well just throw the athlete out there and see what kind of offense you can have with Justin Fields for a year, because neither one of these guys are probably the future, and they're both on a one-year contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the one thing you mentioned, the point, if Russell can get back to his play in Seattle. I don't know if you can see the picture right above me right here. It's Russell in his rookie year in Seattle.
Oh, so you're a fucking Russell Wilson.
Well, I don't let my, I grew up watching Russell.
The dude in your fucking living room, homie.
Let me say
what the fuck?
I saw Russ grow up, playing in Seattle. I also saw Russ live. He out in Nashville here play, in the Nathaniel Hackett era. So I've seen both sides here. And so I'll say this. I think in Pittsburgh, Russ has all the pieces together, all the pieces to, be that Seattle era Russell Wilson again. He's got Pickens, run game. Najee Harris is always going to be helpful for him having a solid run game. That offensive line is much improved. They drafted the kid from Washington, Fatanu. I think he's a hell of a player. I thought, Seattle was going to grab him. But, I think he has all the pieces in front of him. But, if he doesn't work out, they have Justin Fields.
Look, it's still him though.
Yeah.
So all his corny, I can't believe you have a picture of him in your living room. All this corny bullshit with him and the fucking when he wore his own uniform to training camp,
we ain't getting over the corny antics of
dog. I mean, this motherfucker he drives me nuts. So yeah, I mean, look, could he go in there and do a good job? Yeah, he probably could. And if he does, good for him. Maybe he earns another contract and cons another organization into fucking paying him. He can go win 4 Super Bowls with them. But I'm telling you, Justin Fields, both of them have their upside. Justin Fields might look real scary if you figure out a way to maximize him too. Like, I'd like to see both of them on the field. I know Justin only wants to play quarterback, but playing in the NFL is playing in the NFL. So, it would be a little throwback to like Neil O'Donnell and Slash.
Yeah. Do you think Fields will be a kick returner at all? They also have
they're not doing that shit unless like some crazy trick play. He's not going to return kicks. No.
All right, that's you got a very fair point there.